Facing defeat is never easy, and that is what we're talking about today on Set to Love.
You can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality.
You are here to contribute through your essence, fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on.
Take what works, ditch the rest, and always stay set to love.
Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh my gosh. I didn't fall asleep till like 1. I was playing games last night with friends and, board games.
Yeah.
And I drank a cup of coffee and I was wide awake. I had to make myself go to sleep at 1 a.m.
You're so funny. Yesterday I had a margarita from La Cocina. That thing wiped me out. It was like so much alcohol. So I feel you in a different way. I'm feeling you in a different way this morning.
Yeah, but I'm not a drinker either. So 1 margarita hits us really.
Oh my God.
I was fun.
Like this. I was this much through it. And Julian's like, are you feeling something? I'm like, I am. This is crazy. Those suckers are strong. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for being here today. Okay. You have no idea what we're talking about, but we are talking about facing defeat. And here is my story for you. So, I'm in Toastmasters, which is a club. They're worldwide for anyone who doesn't know out there. And once a year, they have a speech competition. And last year was my first year competing in it. And I won 3 times in a row. So you win at like your club level, then you go to an area, then you go to a division, then you go to like this bigger whatever. And it took me I just kept winning and winning and winning. And my whole talk was on intuition, which we always love talking about. And so this time I wasn't even sure I was going to compete, but I was like, whatever, I'll just throw my hat in the ring. So coming up with a talk is so much work for me, like really trying to figure out what I want to talk about, what message and the structure of it all. So I worked so hard on this talk and gave it a couple times, improved it. And then the competition was took first in one of the clubs that I'm in so that I could go on to the area division. And then at the area division, I got second place this weekend. And I was so sad, Shelley. But I lost to someone who is so good. Like he's phenomenal. But man, facing defeat, being like, I should have had that. Like I second guess myself. Oh, I could have done this. I should have said that. What if I slowed down a little bit here or told this story instead? It's like you just start second guessing. I started going like, oh my gosh. And then when I went downstairs, of course, the kids, okay. And it was 5 hours long. I got on at 1 o'clock and there were so many people competing because it's all on Zoom that I didn't actually speak until 5. So it's like all afternoon, I'm trying to keep the kids quiet and make sure the internet's stable. And so finally, when I spoke, I thought like, okay, that wasn't too bad. But then the guy that got first spoke after me. He was second. And I thought, oh man, he is good. And he won by 1 point. And I had to go downstairs and tell them, they're like, how'd you do? How'd you do? And usually I'm like, I won. And they're like, you always win. And I'm like, I lost. I got second. And they all gave me hugs and I just started crying a little bit. And I thought this was such a good lesson.
The thing that I think you're missing is that second is still a win. I mean, there was how many people?
Well, Evan, not according to Evan. He was like, second place, you lost.
Oh my.
I was like, well, you're right.
No, I do think that, as we would say in flow, that everything happens for a reason and to give you, perspective. I mean, it's not like you took everything for granted and you didn't work hard. Maybe that's why you're taking it so personally, because a lot of the times you can on the cuff, come on, Eva, you can come up with something really quick.
Oh yeah.
And still win. And so I feel like this whole second place is kind of good because I think it just gives you opportunity to realize and not have to put yourself that you always have to be first. Mm-hmm. I think what you always have to be is give it your best.
Yes, you're right.
And beyond that,
Yeah.
However, somebody, and it doesn't matter if you were at 5 o'clock or 9 in the morning, this turned out the way that it was supposed to be.
Mm.
And then we wouldn't even have a topic this morning. So
I was like, this is literally what I was thinking. I'm like, find the good. And then I go,
so that's,
I could talk about this with Shelley, like facing defeat, and what that's like to truly put your heart into something and then not get it. Like, it sucks. It does suck. It
not
fun.
suck, but I still don't get it because I don't really see it as defeat. I really think that you did a great job, and second place and 1 point does not.
You're so nice. But here's the thing. So last year, this level, I won. Then I went to the next one. So everyone just gets better. Like, the speakers are just better because they're all the people who had won at 2 levels. So then I won at the next level and made it to like the level up above that. So I just kind of felt like, it's a really good ego check. This is what I'll say. These are some of the things I was thinking. I was like, 1, great, for me to like, you're not going to always win everything. 2, it really made me sit and pause and think about Neil's talk and the gentleman who won. And like, what did he do really well that I could incorporate into my public speaking skills? And he does so many things different than me. His energy is very different than mine. I'm, very big and loud and very passionate, and he's much more calm and impactful and simple.
What about if nothing's wrong? That's what you're not getting. Maybe it could have just been a different topic. It could have been anything. It doesn't mean you're perfect just the way you are.
And this is why Shelley's my best friend, everyone.
I'm serious though. You don't need to fix what's not broke. It's not really this whole thing that you're defeated. You're not defeated. You came in second this time.
Yeah.
And that's how, it's like, that's what makes you appreciate when you win.
Yes.
And then it makes it special, because then if you won every time, you would just take it in some ways
for granted.
And so this keeps you, I hope what it keeps you is inspired to, like you said, it's a great thing to look at something that's working for someone else.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you can't change that you're vibrant and excitable and, louder and passionate about when you speak. I think you speak from your heart. I wouldn't want you to change any of those things.
Aw, friend, I love you. But I was honestly right away, I'm like, what am I doing for next year? And I started thinking about like subjects and talks, and ideas were coming in. And I'm like, how could, like, all these strategies, that's how my brain works. All of a sudden I'm just already thinking about next year. And I'm like, oh, Eva, just sit with it. Just be okay.
You're going to be great. You are great. And what's so weird, once again, weight comes up for me in facing defeat. And the thought of, when I look back at my wins and then being defeated, like not keeping weight off or whatever, I think the best thing to do is really not to look back and to hold on to where you could have been or what would have happened, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I think that the best thing to do is be excited about where you're going next. What's your next talk going to be about? What is your next thing that you're going to create or win? In a sense of whether it be, for me, winning this weight gain, and not, because if I look back at my past or a friend that's doing Weight Watchers that stuck to it and I didn't.
Right. That's the same thing. You feel like, wow,
am I a loser? And when you are telling yourself you're a loser, that's defeating, and that stops you from progressing where you need to go. Plus, you feel terrible.
I know. And you know what? This is what I said to myself. I was like, I'm going to let myself be sad for the night. Like, just for tonight, because, that means you really wanted it. If you weren't sad about it and it was just like, man, whatever, I got second, then good for the person who won because you didn't really want it. So I just let myself just sort of be that, like, woe is me for the night. And then the next day I started thinking about all these strategies, like, all right, well, how can I make sure that next year, and what are some things I could do, and how could I improve? And then I started thinking about just that concept of what are the benefits in when we don't get something that we want? What's the good in it? How can we grow and how can we learn from that? And so, there was this quote that I was looking up.
While you're looking at that quote,
Yeah.
though, I do want to tell you something that I know you would tell me.
Yes.
You have those kiddos that are looking up to you and that are a part of all the things that you do. I think it's really important that you go back and you show your kids where you're at now and how you took that and made those tears or sadness and turned it into something really good. Because you can't leave it where you've left it. Because those kiddos,
you know what I said to them was I said, you can't win everything. You can't always win. Like, defeat is part of life also. And it's okay to lose sometimes. And that's just what I was telling them that night. Like, and it's okay to be sad that you didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it just showed that I'm human and I'm not perfect and I'm not going to win every time. And, like, oh, wow, my mom, she speaks a lot. And she's been doing this for a while and she came in second. Okay. So if I was always winning, what does that say to them? Like, well, my mom wins everything. And that's
be you
not
on your
how
worst day. You know that?
What?
I would be you in your worst day.
Oh.
And I'd feel like I was a winner. Seriously.
Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Man, I don't know. This is terrible. I can't find the one that stood out to me. I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure there's a ton out there that really jump out. It was something to do with, like, if you don't know defeat, then you really don't know victory.
Exactly.
So to really appreciate, and I'm making that up. So, hey, Eva Payne. But that's essentially what the quote was. It's to really understand that beautiful, sweet taste of victory, is to also to really appreciate what it means to not win. And I'm so excited for Neil, and he did such a great job. So and you know what, good for him. And he's someone who's won at those very high levels. So I'm like, if I lost to someone, I lost to someone really good, not like someone who I was like, what? I didn't feel that way.
It was his turn. I think everybody timing and reasons for everything. And I do love your attitude. You are always looking things optimistically, and I think that's real, that what we're giving to our viewers, to really just show up as we truly are, and that it's okay that you struggled, but you're going to pick yourself up, and just like you always do, and you're the winner in my book.
Just keep going. Just keep going. That's what I felt like. I was like, this is going to be a great show. We got a topic, something to talk about. So anyway, I appreciate you, friend. Thank you so much for just being there for me and for always being kind and having those positive words. I really hope everyone out there has a Shelley in their life, that when they feel defeated, when they feel like, they're not good enough or whatever, they have someone that they can call. Hope you have someone that you can call out there who can support you and love you, and just be that warm place to know that you can land and be supported. So I appreciate you so much for being in my life and for always having, I knew I'm like, oh, Shelley's going to have some wise words for me. She's going to make me feel better about this. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Your smile is just gives me energy. I'm telling you,
I love you.
You are very special. So on that note, do you want to take us out this morning?
I do. If you would like to stay in touch with us, find us, email us. If you feel defeated and need a friend, you can email us at settolovepodcast@gmail.com. We're here weekday mornings. Thank you for being here, everyone. We do love you. We appreciate you.
Hit the bell.